They come out in the Wall Street Journal, NPR. High-end stores use facial recognition tools to spot VIPs, charge you more. Websites vary prices, deals based on users' information. They charge people they think have more money. Or if you visit, say, a yacht website, then when you go visit something else, they charge you more. I mean, this is what we're talking about. And then I am called evil for nicely trying to educate a Barnes & Noble person who tried to pressure me into taking one of their cards. That's evil to them.
Well, they don't want to know that it's happening, really, because, you know, and what happens is if we don't educate people, then it's going to become the status quo. Because when I first started working on shopper cards in 1999, nobody knew that the shopper card was collecting your data. And then I remember about, maybe 2005, 2006, that I was talking to a 15-year-old girl, and she said, Catherine, I think it's really great you're doing protests and you're opposing these shopper cards. I really hope you win, but I just have one question. If you get rid of the shopper cards, how is the store going to know what you bought? And I went, oh my gosh, you are completely missing the whole point. But of course, you're 15. You can't remember a time when they didn't have these cards. So the time to fight it, you only have about a 5 to 10 year window on any of this stuff, because by the time it infiltrates society for 5 or 10 years, you've got 15-year-olds who are going to look at you like you're out of your mind when you say that it's not a good idea.
Absolutely, and they don't get that when everything's digital and everything's smart, as they call it, the globalists can hack it, control it, turn it off, control your thermostat, which they're now saying. I mean, this will make the nanny state literally go to the power of 10. I'm Alex Jones, your host. Dr. Catherine Albrecht's our guest. We're going to take phone calls with her. Will you guys fire up my phone system for me? Thanks, so I can see those. 800-259-9231, and we'll get you up and on the air. I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com. By the way, just north of Austin, a toddler was taken from her parents up in Round Rock, up in the satanic lair of Williamson County. Probably one of the most corrupt counties in the country because it's got a bunch of well-meaning conservatives that think government is God. Another little girl got taken from her pot-smoking parents for pot smoke and then got her brains beaten out. You can go see the video of the little blonde-haired little girl. Got her brains beaten out. And, of course, nothing's going to be done to the people that did it. They'll probably get awards or something. I might as well have firing squads for kids now. Might as well oil police boots with baby blood. But don't worry, you're all going to have your life ruined, too. You're not being given all this satanic power for nothing. You're going to be destroyed as well by your own system. So enjoy. Here, let's scroll down the little girl. There she is, but they got her. And they're going to get more, don't you worry. 60+% of foster children nationwide are on an average of 7 psychotropic drugs. When they cry for mommy, they drug them. And if they catch you with marijuana in your car, or you go in to get your blood taken for something, you go in to have a baby and they catch any marijuana in your blood, even if it's a false positive, you're never seeing your kids again. Because child kidnapping's worth a lot of money in this country. Just the federal funds they get to string your kid out on drugs and all the sicko pot-bellied pedos they pass your kid around to. Nobody's coming to help them either. No, only God's coming to burn this world up because it's what you want. All of you lovers of evil that won't do anything. All those kids in darkness all over the world begging for help right now while the New World Order tortures the daylights out of them while you sit there and preen yourselves and all feel fancy and powerful and cool and all your sick narcissism and watch your Sports Center. Yeah, you're real manly out there, aren't you? Tell you, stories like that make me just sick. I can't even play the newscast. I can't even look at it. And I see them every day where they're killing foster kids, especially the little babies. They beat their brains out and never get in trouble. They lock them up in cages. They drown them. They rape them. They kill them. They malnourish them. And it's just, whenever they go, oh, well, there'll be problems in the state custody. The most dangerous place in the world is in state custody hands. Catherine, I'm sorry to go off into darkness here. I get really depressed by this sometimes. I just hope all the evil people realize their party's not going to go on forever. What do you think about the increase in evil that's going on? I mean, it's definitely there. We're a cursed nation. We're a cursed world. Diabetes up several thousand%. Cancer up several thousand%. Everything that's going on. The test score is dropping. The IQ is dropping. What's happening, Catherine?
You know, it's horrifying, isn't it? And you'd think that with all of this surveillance, that kind of stuff would stop. But the reality is it's the other way around. The more of that stuff we get, the more surveillance they give us. And then the more of that stuff we get, and then the more surveillance they give us. And it's an escalation. So you're not going to find a situation where the more surveillance we get, the better of a society we're going to wind up with. It's never worked that way in the past. It's certainly not going to work that way now. The people who are doing these kinds of things oftentimes are the very first to get on board with the nasty technologies. One of the things I did, and you know this because I was down in Austin visiting you guys there at the InfoWars studios, but also I headed down to San Antonio, and I interviewed a man who has worked with over 20,000 sex offenders within the state of Texas alone. There's a horrifying website where you can go online and you can see where they release these people out into the streets, and they're supposedly surveilled. You know, they're not really. They just give you a map so you can see where they are. And I interviewed this man who's worked with these people who've done time for their crimes against children. And what he told me chilled my blood, Alex. He said, you know that RFID tracking program that they had with the chips around the kids' necks down in San Antonio that you couldn't turn off, that was on day and night, that could read, that sent a signal outside their homes even at night when they were sleeping? He said that the people that he counsels, that they fantasize about technologies like that would enable them to select particular victims and then drive down the street and see when they're home, drive down the street and see when they're at school, figure out if they're in their gym class.
And that's right, and predators just like them built this to do that and to be able to use the artificial intelligence to beat the good people.
It's a mindset, and it's an evil mindset, and it's a mindset that says if I can get enough information about my victim, whether my victim is the